I'm sitting out here having coffee. No, I have not been having coffee. I have been working like a dog. Well, not my dogs. They don't do anything. But let me show you what I did all morning. Let me show you the cardboard box. Let's do an update on that, and I'll tell you about the bad, the bad, and the good. So here's an update. So what's been going on that's not been good? Well, as you can see, everything is now covered in tulle. All the way down to the end there, pretty much. I caught a squirrel going into, well, they was going into my squash, and it was digging up the small squash and chewing on the leaves. Not just the birds. I don't mind the birds because they don't do too much damage, but the squirrels I do mind. So now it's covered in tulle. Now I'll tell you right now, see, I still have it just thrown on the bolt because it was a fast job, but it's been there all week. So it's been like almost a week like this. Plants don't like to be touched. They're going to droop and they're going to kind of be pushed and go, wait a minute, this isn't right. I'm going the wrong way. Something's holding me down. So I'm going to have to change this up fairly quick. Otherwise it will kind of slow down their growth. But all in all, everything is doing really, really good. I have been hand pollinating the squash just in case the bees don't get it. I figured I'm just going to help them out. This one I removed, that little one. So now you can see there's actual flowers starting in here. It was just too much for such a small box. That one's got one plant, that one's got one. Those are the hybrid squash, type of zucchini, that came up from seed from last year. And let me tell you something, I have been having zucchini, or a type of zucchini, every single night, and that has been the greatest thing. Ask the dogs, they love it. Okay, so this one, these two are zucchini. That one's a little slow, but it's gonna pick up. I'm not sure if the onions are drawing from that. Onions actually do, even though they're just walking onions, I've noticed they really do get a root system on them and they can pull. If that one doesn't catch up soon to that one, I will move the onions out. Okay, and then the tomatoes. I've got a bunch of little stuff coming up, and it's probably baby tomatoes because there's seeds from last year all over, because I shift soil from one tote to another, and a lot of this came from other totes that broke down. So I've been pulling them out, but that's doing really good. The peppers are doing good. I haven't actually looked to see. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Holy mackerel. I've got peppers all over. That is super cool. So this has got the two hot peppers in there, and then it's got some flowers and walking onions. This has got radishes. This was fun. I actually started the radishes in a plastic bag. Go look at my plastic bag method. And then once I knew they were rooting, I just put them where I want. That's why they're so perfectly spaced. If they're not, sometimes there's two together, the seed might have pushed out two heads on it. And sometimes that happens, but they're perfectly spaced. I'm really happy with that. This is a walking onion. Again, I've got to get this tool fixed. Flowers, and the tomatoes that are full of tomatoes, right now they're still green, is a sungold. This I haven't talked about yet, we'll get to it, but this is a cool. There are earthworms down there. We'll talk about this, how to set those up. So that's a two system, but it's a real small one. Then the eggplant in here. I've got cucumbers. I've got to get them staked up better. And oh, well, I was looking at the little one. Oh, that is really cool. I've got to get them staked up better. Little stunted. There's more. Okay, so they're doing pretty good. Eggplant might be too much for that, but we'll see. More tomatoes. That's the 100s. And again, walking onions. Then more cucumbers back there. Some kale. Oh, I've got to get this up. I've been working on so many things that I haven't come back to redo this right. And I hope to get it done right now. There are two of the watermelons, and they're doing pretty good. They're taking off. They had a strawberry plant in there and walking onions. So I moved the walking onions over here. I may end up giving them their own pot. Right now, the watermelon have their own box. Now, I just stuck this on here right now. I can get in there and do what I want. This is an old bird cage I found here. Take my word for it. The door opens, see? So I can get in there and take care of them. And what I'm going to do is put a two system in there. And I may use this pot because I can go through the top. By putting a two system, go look up my video. It's composting in place, and it's a constant food source, especially with 2 watermelons. Because the small sugar baby watermelons, they tend to grow 1 to 3 per plant. They say 60 days, but I've had them come in the chair garden in 30. I know they say it doesn't work. It did. I showed the planting that time, not last year, I think the year before. And in 30 days, we harvested our first watermelon. That was so good. So I'm going to put a 2 system in there as soon as I get around to it. And I may have to cover the top. Now, I don't know if the squirrel left or what. I haven't seen him, but again, when he came back and the tool was there, he left. He doesn't want to mess around with the tool, because if he touches that netting, that tool, it's very fine, doesn't hurt any birds. Not like bird netting can kill birds. Keep that in mind. He can get stuck in it because it's so fine, and he's got fine nails. So far so good. So what's the other thing that I found out working with boxes that I don't like? And they're holding up pretty good. My plastic totes don't need to be watered more than right now, even though we're going to have kind of a semi-heat wave today and tomorrow possibly. I don't have to water them more than maybe every 2 days. But I have noticed that the cardboard boxes kind of work like a grow bag. The boxes draw. Another reason I don't use toilet paper rolls to grow in. I use that to compost, but not to grow in, because the cardboard acts like a sponge. It pulls the water away. So when I go by, I notice that it looks like it's damp, but when I check it, no, it's damp around the edge of the cardboard because it's drawing, but it's not damp enough for the plant around the plant. A 2 system will work on that, because we'll always stay damp under a flower pot, so I can hook it up that way. Or the other thing is just go through, check it, and if it has to be watered every other day, then I'll water every other day, and if it gets hot, I'll just water every day. What I am going to do here is I am going to change the tool. I'm going to figure out exactly how I want to do it. I'm not sure if I'll do 1 section or per box, but I'll probably put a quick fix, stakes along the back. I'll hope to do that next few days. And then have the tool draped along the back lightly, and then draped along the front. Very similar to what I've done around the yard here, and you've probably seen it on garden tours. And that will be probably the best way to do it. And then all through here, these, I'm just draped on top, but I'm gonna pull them off soon. I might just drape it along the bottom, because if a squirrel or something does try to get up, but the squirrel wasn't getting in there, the squirrel was getting in here, they'll touch the netting and they'll leave. And this is on the ground. See, that's the difference. When you grow on a chair, it's up. Can squirrels jump? Of course they can. But they don't kind of like it. I've seen one try it once, and it's kind of like they're not sure. So they'll just go find something else that's lower. And remember, I've got the ones along the bottom too. So anything on the ground, you know, that's like, all right, let's have a party. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully you'll come back and you'll be able to see how I change things up. But all in all, everything is growing really good. I mean, we're only still in April, and I have been harvesting. I've been harvesting here on the wall over there every day. There's been a squash for me to get. So I can pan fry it with a little butter. I have done all kinds of different things with it, but I just love our zucchini. I could eat 2 or 3 zucchini a day. Look at that. That's a round one. The hybrids are round. They taste like zucchini, but they're round. This doesn't have anything yet. Those are the hybrids. That was just planted. That's a zucchini. These 2 in here are zucchini. That zucchini, I don't know why I'm doing this. It was supposed to be on a cardboard box. This is, got a zucchini in here. I harvested yesterday one. It has helped that I started to hand pollinate everything. Anyways, going back to cardboard boxes, can you do it if you're getting ready to start gardening in May? Yeah, get the boxes set up, or at least start collecting your leaves. Remember, this is set up just like my totes are. No different. The whole bottom has got wood and leaves. When I say wood, you know, from the ground, from branches, right off the tree, green, brown, it doesn't matter. Then the top is topped with old soil. Some of it was just simply picked off the ground and then tossed in there. And then as I get towards the top, that's where I put my kitchen scraps. Green leaves. Colored is the best. Any colored, tree colored, regular colored, and if you don't have that, use Swiss chard. Anything you've got, it doesn't matter, or just kitchen scraps. And then on the very top, if you don't have a really good rich soil from another tote, even from last year, just put a couple inches of potting soil, just a few inches. So you can take 1 bag. That will cost you anywhere from let's say $10 to $20, and you can spread it on multiple units that you're going to set up. And that's it, because the plants are going to grow in the beginning right on the top, and then anything, all that matter you put underneath, if you see any earthworms, throw some earthworms in there. They'll start to send their roots down, and by then it's already starting to break down, but it won't matter. They're going to be feeding off the earthworms and the microbes and everything, because that's what they're feeding off of. What's coming out of them is what the plant wants. So that's it. That's an update, and I'll get that set up better. If it cools down, I'm going to wrap that a little bit with plastic. I'm trying to keep certain plants in certain areas right now. Watermelon up against the wall because we're still too early for watermelon. I went back on my videos and I found that the best time for us to plant watermelon and be successful is after we get through the June gloom. That's when it's cold in the morning, it's cloudy, it's damp, and a lot of the plants don't like it. Even squash doesn't like it, but they'll still keep growing. Once we get through that, then we can plant melons. You can start them in the house, but that's when you can put them outside. Melons and watermelon and all that. Even cucumbers do better then. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this little update. Go ahead and try some cardboard boxes, but I would mix and match. I would plant some in flower pots, buckets, containers, whatever you want. Unless you're going directly in the ground, if you can do that, then go ahead and do that. Try some boxes, see what you think. So with that, have a wonderful, wonderful day. And don't forget, so cool, to eat what you grow. Bye-bye.